Alright, doing a matchup video for Talim should be interesting because she's kind of an all-around, just really safe character. I've been focusing on punishes so far, but for Talim that's kind of difficult to do. So first, her basic 5A string, you can duck in the middle and launch Punisher for it. Then she's got Rapid Espada, which looks like it's meant to punish that, but actually the high to medium string jails. So there you go, it's actually the same response. However, she has her various stance cancels out of that last A hit. Because of that, you gotta be really quick with the rising B, or else you might whiff. Oops. So there you go. If you're a bit late with it, then you end up in this situation. Which, I mean, you can get lucky and get the behind the back launcher, but you can also get back thrown. So watch for that chance to get rising BB as opposed to having to go for the kick in the middle, because the 2-hit actually does do more damage than just having the kick, even without the counter hit launcher. So next up, Rapid Barrage. This is the actual catch you if you're trying to crouch in the middle string. And it also won't let you sidestep, as you can see, even though it's a vertical at the end there. So you can try to parry, or as you can see, it's minus 16, so you can just get a 16 frame punish at the end. I don't know why there's no lethal hit there. Almost every other 16 frame punishable move in the game gives you the lethal, but Rapid Barrage does not. Possibly because it's meant to dance transition like this, or something weird like that. I don't actually know. Or maybe she's putting a non-counter hit state at the end. But yeah, there's what I'm trying to show you. This crouch actually messes up your chances of getting the 16 frame punish even. And because it's only 16, not 18, you can't even rely on that for her just blocking at the end. So you can also go for that as your punish, and then if she goes into the stance, just try to get that second hit out of your 6A to interrupt her. So there's your, mix up or whatever. Right. Unfortunately, she does have a crouching stance follow-up to a minus 16 move that doesn't even get properly punished at 16 frames. So, I don't really know. It turns into a guessing game, like many other things with Talim. So then you've got this, which is just straight up launcher punishable, so not too much to worry about, and the whole thing jails, so it won't beat you if you crouch. Then you've got Wind Dance, which is just a completely safe -2 horizontal. Yeah, you can follow up with that, or if you're feeling a little braver, you can try for a 16 frame to be plus or to get a mix up or whatever. But if you do that, you do lose her just basic 5A afterwards. And then there's Mirror Fan Strikes, which is a much slower second hit. You can just duck and launch. You can also parry, which is important because she has a wide variety of options here. And this will always beat the launcher. It's not like 5A where you can just be quick afterwards and be okay. So there's one option. There's another option because it run counters. But then she has this hopping thing where the run counter might not even matter. Which is why I showed you the first option. And if you do want to risk getting sidestepped, the launcher is much better here. But like with the 5A, you have to be quick or she'll hop over your head. Same for the back step. Those both work. And you can do that, but you end up in a weird position again. And of course these all have the same openings, so you continue to be able to just guard impact. Then you got this, which if you're crouching that second hit, oops, you can try and react to the startup of the mid with your cheap hold spin. If you're watching the inputs, I actually did press down in the middle there. However, she also has this option, which beats both sidestep and crouch and the cheap hold spin. And it's relatively safe on block. You only get that 12 frame punish. But there's why I showed you the guard impact option, because that works even if you just kind of mindlessly mash it. And this is the slower one. Guard impact actually makes this whiff. So that means that 6AA has the guard impact gap, 6AB whiffs if you guard impact, and 6AK actually gives you the level 3 guard impact. So post 6A, guard impact is a relatively universal answer. If you don't like playing the impact, reverse impact, guard break, rock, paper, scissors, and you can, oops, didn't actually change the move. You can go for something like that, and then do whatever after it. Or, of course, the net player's favorite, you can just go for reversal edge. So yeah, there's your pseudo answer, if you will, to 6A. Next you got Razor Storm. Yeah, it's a plus on block horizontal mid. Seems pretty good. And you don't even have time to back through afterwards. I don't know. But it gives you a level 3, oops. That wasn't bad. A level 3 guard impact. And if you get a base hold parry, then you get a full on lethal. Of course. Because of reasons it's not working right, but there it is. 2A is a standard 2A. I should say Razor Storm, despite being a horizontal plus on block mid, does leave her back turned, which somewhat limits her follow-ups and slows down anything she can do after. So it's worth allowing to see how much she can get away with. One of her options afterwards, of course, is 2A. It's a very standard 2A by all respects. It's not even a real low. You get the level 3 impact like all the others, and it's safe like all the others, just negative enough that you can start pressure afterwards. Then she's got her 1A, which is actually safe on block. You can jump it with jumping B and get your launcher punish. Or you can do that if you're a little slower to react. Then she's got this, which is just a safe little string that if you duck the first hit still catches you. You also can't step that. Like the other stuff, you can guard impact. Like the other stuff, you can start pressure afterwards. But it's not something you're really going to punish. Crouching A the same as 2A, just like with most characters. While rising A is a solid horizontal mid, safe on block. Doesn't give you time to get a lethal hit launcher or anything, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. Then she's got her jump A, which is tricky. Another safe on block low. This one you cannot jumping B punish. Well, I guess you can if you time it perfectly. But difficult. Inconsistent. More of a read upon seeing the jump than a reaction upon seeing her land from it. Again, if you're slower, you can go for the K option. And then she's got Ice Wind combo, which, so, like I was saying, she's facing away after that plus on block mid. So yeah, very punishable if she goes for that. And she can cut it short. But the shortened version also very unsafe. If you try to mash that though, she'll catch you with the third hit if she goes for it. What I should look at before I cut this clip. No, her facing away. There, she does have facing away down K as the low option. But better to get hit by that than by a 6 mid, or how many his mid is that? A 9 mid combo. Alright, I realize I've gotten a bit more rambly with these because moves are starting to have less defined answers as I move farther through the cast. But moving right along to vertical attacks for Talim. And speaking of not defined answers, we start right off with a string that ends in reversal edge, because reasons. So, and that's the standard, right? Just get behind her when she does it. But just want to show that this works, and also want to show that the behind the back property here is really weird. And the reason you want to know that works is because I don't know why that works either, but after 5BB cancel, a slight delay followed by IAGA gives you a lethal hit. I think it's because she's in some type of guard recovery state when she cancels out a reversal edge. I'm not really sure. It works on all of these though. Like so. If I recall, this is, yeah. Kind of risky to duck there because your regular BB is going to hit you if you do. Actually, no, it's not. Okay, yeah, that's right. So what you want to do, since BB jails, is if you can react when you see the 5B, start crouching. And then if you don't end up ducking, go for the AGA. As you can see, it'll hit even if it doesn't lethal, which is nice. 6B is the one that's a little different here. So this Airblade Thrust does have minus 16 on block, oops. But I'm messing up terribly, because of course I am. A lot of block stun for something that's minus 16. There it is. Sorry. But for this one, you're taking a big risk with that. So she has a break attack version, which you can react to, cheap hold, stance around, whatever. Obviously that's plus on block. I must have been a little late with the cheap hold spin the first time when it hit me, I don't know. But she's got the stances again. This time around, you will not get the lethal, which is why I think Reversal Edge has something to do with it. But this is the one that you need to be worried about. Oh, sorry. That one you'll still hit. This one. I have the direction reversed. So you're gonna whiff pretty much anything but 5B here. I guess you can go for BGB. But AGA is going to whiff, and for various reasons, sorry, that might be pretty risky to try, because she might just hit you out of it. It's like 20 something frames of startup. And I guess I should show via recording really quick what happens. So 6BB 4. And then there goes your whole health bar. It's actually insane. Even if you get the 16 frame version, with recovery is too much. However, you will head her out with both that and just plain old 5BB. So that's up to you. You can also just guard impact, which has the added benefit of covering all of the potential follow-ups except the guard break, which will completely wreck you. Like so. And there's what happens if you try for 5BB and she spins. As you can see, BGB also whips. So it's up to you if you want to risk going for the AGA or risk the guard impact. Yeah, Talim is kind of silly. There's no really clear-cut answer to anything she does. So here's this launcher that's only -12. And here is this little kind of punch that has no whiff recovery whatsoever. And is only -2. You can react in time. You can duck that. You're reacting to the 4B in that case, obviously. But then you get hit with this. Probably better to just... just showing that you can't step there. But you do have time to guard impact. You get the level 3 guard impact. And in this case, you don't. So, again, no clear-cut answer. If you delay a little bit though, rather than just mashing it out, oops. Nope, still doesn't work. So I guess you can try to reverse the ledge if you want, or you can just play the guessing game, right? So that's not going to work. You have to react, and there's not much time. I don't know. But the first hit can be level 3. So if you're apparently just that good, you can try that, but you're not reacting to 6B with a guard impact. It's just not a thing. Just showing that this doesn't really work. I would recommend attempting the step, but back throw is going to be inconsistent because Talim is tiny. As you can see, stepping this way is better. Go clockwise, not counterclockwise for the back throw after 4B. Yeah. Like I said, no real defined answer to that. Other than maybe, block. Do what you will. I think it's like -2. This, however, is -12. So there's your low punish. Also, it's just slow enough that you can probably react with the jump if you're quick. But you don't get a launcher off block, so just go for Rising K. This launcher is not -12 like the other one. You can get your AKA punish. But she has a delayed version that's much safer. If you see her taking forever with the launcher, get ready to just spin. And she's got an unblockable that's kind of similar. Standard punish. But she can cancel out of that. If you're really quick like I just was, you can punish. But if you're even a little bit late, you're gonna have to get the kick. And it can whiff because it's weird. This is just a standard crouching B. I think she's like -6-ish afterwards, maybe -8. Sorry, I don't know off the top of my head, but there's enough time to pressure afterwards. So if she goes for both of these hits, there we go. One hit is also lethal punishable, but there's a gap between them, so if you try to punish, you might get launched. However, she has the stance transition out of this. No real risk to using, the punish afterwards. Just that you might not get the lethal, because she's probably going to try to spin around. In this one, even if she does the flips, less danger of whiffing, so you don't have to worry about the tornado explosion thing. Regular rising B, not quite as punishable. But you can get that, or start pressure afterwards, obviously. And rising 3B, just showing off, is also level 3 guard impact. Then she has this. I don't know what the deal with this is. Why does she have a +2 on block jumping attack? It's weird. You can try to react with that, but then you might get opened up by the jumping low she has in her horizontals. Other than that, I guess just block if she lands that. You can duck it though. She might go over your head if you do, and then you might get like kicked or something. It also gives her a reverse ring out, so be careful with that. If you duck it, maybe try that. Oops, sorry. Getting carried away. If you're far enough away though, she won't. If she doesn't go over your head, that is. You can get a proper with punish. Sorry, why am I bad? But just showing off. If you are in that situation, go for the kick and not the rising B. Her facing away Bs, this is just crouching B, but with higher startup. And this is actually a pretty unique. It's like a turning punch that has a lot of block stun to it. But it's -8. It doesn't look -8 at all, so you can start pressure afterwards. Yeah. Wow, sorry. Double sorry, I am bad. It's that. Nothing really to worry about. Just it won't actually punish. I didn't record her blocking, but that's an option to go for afterwards. Because at -8, she doesn't have an 8-frame normal to interrupt your 16-frame 6A. Compared to her various Tonfa attacks, Talim's kicks are pretty simple. I should probably start by saying every single one of these can be guard impacted and give you the level 3 guard impact. Because a lot of them are safe. I mean, you can duck and stuff, but that's on not on reaction. So, probably the best answer, to the extent that there is one, is going to be guard impacting a lot of times. So this one, this little, I don't know, pseudo hotkick looking thing is a mid, and it's -14, so it's one of the few that's punishable. This other mid kick that's just kind of like a standard kick, not punishable. Then she's got a pretty standard low sweep, not rising B punishable, but is rising K punishable. Same with this one. Just to show you, oops, a little early. So yeah, level 3 guard impact. She's got another high that's just actually just a standard roundhouse. Same deal. Then she's got the crouching version of that earlier sweep. I think it might actually come from the opposite direction, but no, same. This sort of mix up with that is that her rising K actually is a mid. It's a safe mid at that. Both of them lose to guard impact if you can time it. As you can see, it's actually pretty hard to react to that. Then jumping K, this is one that you actually do want to react to. So when you see the jump, you can sidestep and go for a throw or whatever. And note the direction there, because if you go the other direction, it takes a lot more stepping, although it is Still possible to get a back throw. But I've had a lot of issues where I went this way and got hit. Again, you're reacting to the jump and not the kick. And the reason for that is you also want to sidestep this. Because jumping B is plus on block. So rather than risk holding that, just sidestep and you cover both jumping K and jumping B. Jumping A doesn't come out till she lands, so if her feet do touch the ground, that's when you want to switch from sidestep to blocking. Moving on, she does have the 2 back turn kicks. The back turn low is the exact same as the regular low, just with the startup for turning around added to it. The back turn high, however, is a unique attack. Which ones play again? I'm sorry, I'm used to PS4. Take it all. She can feint it, I guess. So, there it is. I don't think there's any way to punish it. Everything I've tried so far hasn't made it, and it's not minus 16 at the very least. So she kind of just gets to reset to neutral with that. You can duck it, but there's no way you're going to react to that startup. So if you think you've got a hard read, you can go for the duck, but if you remember, she has some scary back turn mid options. Of course, it can be guard impacted like all the others. To the extent that you can react to that. Maybe not. There, so that's the only one that can't be level 3 impacted. It seems like Windows 10 doesn't play nice with Logitech drivers, and the sound enhancement controller went out of control. So no game sound for this bit, and that's why they don't run tournaments on PC. Anyway, dual button attacks rather. Standard guard break with Icewind. If you want to use the Chief Hold spin, you gotta do it pretty early. Otherwise, just step and back throw. The lightning comes out, as you can see, rather far into the little spin animation. And then she's got Shearing Blades, which is something you're also going to want to sidestep. As you can see, not really going to get punished there. You can't Chief Hold spin, takes too long. You actually just have to walk around her. She can delay it though. If she delays, you can try for the spin, but you should be moving when you see the startup anyway. Crosswind. Like you can see, it's safe. It has a kind of noticeable startup, so you can try and duck that. Or you can get the level 3 guard impact. Then we've got Rapid Force, which is a troll move. It's minus 16. Just to show that's an 18 frame. But you can't get the lethal hit. I don't know why Talim is the way she is. I theorize that things that can transition into Wind Fury during the available stance cancel period aren't considered in attack recovery anymore, maybe? But that's just a random guess. Here's just showing, even if you could pull off the lethal, she can just duck with that stance transition. So you're going to want to go for the B6. because the counter only happens there. I don't see the impact, but it's considered an impact counter if you go for b6 instead of just 5b. Lots of guard damage off that move, by the way. Then she's got this thing. It's kick punishable and nothing else. You can't duck it even though it looks high. And you can sidestep it, but I have been hit while her hands aren't even touching me before, kind of like that. So it's only steppable if you start the step after the attack tracks, or after it starts, which breaks the tracking. If you're already moving, it seems to have really strong tracking on it. Twin Espada's negative, but not very. See, it's kind of rough to do that, so you're going to want to just walk. I haven't been able to get a back throw off this, even taking one step when you see it is too far, because she kind of twirls as part of the animation. So I would recommend just doing that kind of thing. 6-6A plus B is too slow, by the way, for those of you who like to go for fancier whiff punishes in Dark Legacy. Then we have Desert Gust. You get a 4A, but that's all. You can crouch the first part, but the second part will launch you if you do that, so I wouldn't recommend it. And you cannot sidestep, as you can see. Yeah, you just gotta take the 4A. So I'm going to show these two first, just because they're more of a pain to record, and then we'll do the facing away A plus B. So she goes into like a stance when you press B plus K while back turned. And then she has that break attack there. You have two options here. When you see her do this, her back is toward you, and you can go for the back throw. Or you can just, oh, she's hopping, and go for this. I recommend the second option because if she goes for, oops, just for the sake of making it easier, if she goes for a hop, and she hops and you try to grab, and then you whiff, and then you get wrecked by the unblockable. But if you're just reacting to the hop with 3B, you can get maybe a counter hit. I'm being slow, but you excuse me, can actually get 3BB there because she's in the air. Like that. Now for the regular back turn A plus B. Just duck. That's a horizontal, so you won't be sidestepping it. Okay, here we are with Talim's 8-way run attacks. I know I've been forgetting to switch the stage in the background, and I know that makes it harder to scroll through the video and find the category you want. I'm getting better. I'll figure it out eventually. So this is a safe attack, slightly negative. You can start pressure after blocking it or something, but it's better to duck. All of her running forward attacks, except for one, are high, and that one that is medium has a noticeable bit of startup on it. Sorry, I'm dumb. So anyway, here it is. So you see her run, you duck, and then you can try and twirl around, but except it doesn't work always. But it's an option. can even kind of option select it. She runs, you duck, and then you spin if nothing comes out. Some people would say that's not a true option select, but many an anime player uses a technique like that to block high-lows. But going back to Flowing Gale Hook and its follow-ups. After any of them, you can go for 5B. I mean, you could also try, because it's like -8 or something, go for like that. But the reason I wouldn't recommend it is because the Wind Fury stance gets really far away, so you will end up getting wrecked with the whiff punish. So let's show it. Oops. Even if she goes for her fastest follow-up, you can still bop her with the 5B there. And it works on all the ranges. Like so. Since it catches even the sidestep option, there's no real downside to using the vertical there. Ideally, you're going to catch her with the counter hit and get the 2-hit combo. But if you don't, I mean, it's a really rare scenario where she's going to use 66AA and then not stance cancel but sidestep to avoid a 5B counter poke. Something that can happen, just not something I would ever expect. So then you've got this, which you can wreck that way. Even if she does the stance cancel, for some reason it's still lethals, and after we just showed that sometimes I-16 doesn't lethal as a punish, I really don't know what's up with Talim's counter hit states. And of course she can still do the forward flip and the back flip, but in this case both of them will get caught by AGA at most ranges. Trying to whiff punish it with AGA may be questionable, but sorry for being bad. As you can see, even at rather long range, if you do block, AGA is a pretty safe punish option. And she's got this thing. You can stance in the middle to punish. You can get a regular 4A punish. You can duck the first hit if you're feeling really fancy. And if you're just a god, you can duck before the first hit and it'll lethal. If you block the first hit, it does not work. I don't know why that is. Sorry, let me show it. I think it's because there's some preparatory time into the stance that's getting added on or something. I don't know. She does have a break follow-up to that though, so if you block and then you blindly do this, you'll get impact broken. So be ready to react with base hold K. It's pretty slow, so you definitely have time to notice that you're about to get impact broken instead of landing a parry. So, like I said, you see her running toward you, you can duck. I doubt you can react, but this one does not track at all, so you can't get behind her. As you can see, neither behind her option really works unless you get lucky or are really fast. So I say duck when she's running toward you. So Gust Hook. You can Rise and K punish this.
How can I lose?
Or try that. The reason you would try that is so that also gets a Rise and K punish. Oh, sorry. Disregard my last statement. That's not the one that stance transitions. So this leaves her back turned, and you can go for sort of a better throw punish than usual, but it's better when you see the hop to just take that damage, or just sidestep and wait and then throw. I don't know. Honestly, just sidestep would be it. Because you're not going to get a real back throw. And it's not rising B punishable. So she can go into stance after this, which will make the rising punish whiff. Another reason it's better to just sidestep. But you want to sidestep this way, because if you sidestep this way, she'll spin away from it. If you do block, you can get the run counter on that, kind of wait a moment and then go. Or it's difficult, but you can tap G again while you're down and successfully get the rising K punish. If you get the rising K punish and she does the flip, you can actually, that's a real combo. If you don't believe me, oops, sorry, wrong thing. See, real combo. If she turns away, all you're gonna get is just a back turn state rising K punish, and she does recover even if you're up close fast enough that you can't follow up with back throw. But rising K, a valid punish for all the stances, provided you kind of tap G if you see the sidestep. You can also try to react to the sidestep with Maelstrom, your rising AA. That's a real test of your reactions, though. Alright, parabolic Sipa, whatever, however you pronounce that. As you can see, despite the fact that on block she ends up back turned, if it whiffs, you'll still get a forward throw. I don't know. Because of that, you see the backflip thing start up, just sidestep and launch her. So, like so. Sorry, I missed a medium running toward you, but similar to the other one, you definitely have enough time to spin in reaction to the slow mid startup. Then there's Sipa Windmill, which, yeah, it actually catches sidestep, so you can, if you're feeling really fancy, get the level 3, or you can just start pressure afterwards. It's also duckable, but because she has strong medium options there and it's fast, that's kind of not a real punish option so much as a read. Then she has this thing. Just pressure afterwards, I don't know. It does have a level 3 impact as well though. I think Super Rising, yeah, you can sidestep this for sure. But just 3B with punish if you get that. Here's the other running toward mid. Like I said, oops. I am bad and I'm getting the wrong twirl. There we go. Just demonstrating that when you see her running toward you, you still have enough time if she doesn't do the low to go into cheap hold and whiff punish. She has a variety of stance transitions afterwards, like we kind of already covered. Sorry. Very safe stance transitions afterwards, unlike most of her other stuff. I don't know. Yeah, so move clockwise, chief hold B is probably the best option here.
My strength fails me.
Yep. She's super plus in those stance transitions, so you really do want to just Chief hold spin clockwise. You're not going to get any kind of punish if you block that. Then there's tumbling razors, which definitely a sidestep kind of thing and not a block kind of thing. Like you can see. And then we have Sepa slide. So Talim with a unique slide compared to the whole rest of the cast. That one's the normal one you're all familiar with. Rising B punish, it hits low, whatever. By the way, another incentive to block low if you see her running toward you. But then she's got this one. When her health is low, she doesn't do a normal slide. She does this, like a baseball slide. And it's not punishable at all.
My strength fails me.
On top of that, it lethals. So you can try jumping, but like it doesn't even work right. I don't actually know what the correct... Oh yeah, and it's super safe on impact, you only get to level 1. So yeah, that's Talim in all her weirdness. They just said, why don't we give this character a safe on block slide at low health. Alright, time to record stances one at a time because Talim has a lot of special moves. First off is Wind Charmer. This you may recognize because she has this going on. It looks a lot like her 6-6 AA into the stance. Similarly, just 5 BB after blocking the first 2 hits usually puts you in a good spot. But that's only if she tries to stance transition, because this stance leads right off with a high-high mid versus high-high low mix-up. And you cannot interrupt it. And it's not even properly punishable if you block the mid, and you can't sidestep the mid. She really just wants you to hold that mix-up. You can try to guard impact in there. You don't really get much off it, but it's better than nothing. And if she goes for the low, you do get the level 3. So that admittedly is pretty nice. I would go so far as to say this is your answer to the extent that the mix-up has one. If you block that regularly, make sure you do a rising punish. Don't try to block the high or you waste your chance to get damage for it. This is slightly negative, so if you block the mid, you can push buttons. You just can't really get a punish. Now for the Wind Charmer piece proper, like I said. That's going to work for everything. Then we've got Barra strikes. I can't pronounce any of Talim stuff. Not punishable, but it is, I believe, -8, so if you use some type of 16 prime move, she can't interrupt you at the very least. She shouldn't be mashing there anyway. But she does have this version. Note that if you go counterclockwise, it takes more steps than if you go clockwise. So if you see the blue flash or the lightning, react by sidestepping and punishing. Supposedly that break attack is 0 on block, but I don't trust it, and also she has better 12 frame moves than you do as Siegfried. Then she's got Twirling Wind, which is just a mid kick. If you've got those SKD reactions, you can wait for the spin and then interrupt her, but you probably don't. And also, if you get whiff punished by that kick, you get wrecked. But I think that's like -6 or -8 or something. You can start pressure afterwards. Then she has, because of course she does, a safe low. You can try to jump it if you react, but you have a kind of narrow window to each their own. You do have that, but you don't get the B punish, you just get that off it. Yeah. And the regular guard impact, as you saw there, does not give you anything. The last piece she's got out of Wind Charmer is a command grab. That's guaranteed if it hits you. So if you can react to it, try to duck. You can't tech it. And as you saw, it grabbed me right out of my attack startup. But again, if you got those super godlike reflexes, do what you will. Yeah, that wraps up Wind Charmer. Next up is Wind Salt. Okay, so I have to apologize. Using 5B after 66AA is not actually a universal answer. I didn't realize Wind Salt A+B was a thing. If they use that, the tumbling multi-hit attack that hits mid, it will definitely beat 5B after 66AA. So that goes back to what I said to begin with. The smartest option there is when you see Talim running toward you, duck and get ready to try a chief hold spin for the horizontal, for the verticals. So Wind Salt things. Contrary to what I know I just said, it probably is smart to just try and 5BB if you see her fly up in the air in neutral. Oops. Like so. The reason for this is... Oh, come on, do your thing, Talim. So that is punishable, which is all well and good, but... Oh no, she gets away. Super obnoxious. You can delay and get her with it, but if you delay, it will punish the original one. Yeah. Which is reducing your punish to... maybe go for that, right? Oh no, wait. She has one where she flies up in the air and ruins that as a punish too. So you're kind of stuck. You can do what I showed in another section somewhere and use Rising K versus slightly delayed Rising K. Maybe you can't even do that. There it is, sorry. Having to tap G in there to recenter again. Or you can of course just use jumping as your option, and that'll get her. That also, oops, beating the jump for obvious reasons. Giant sword flying up in the air beats Talim trying to jump herself. But all of those options end up losing to just this, which is a plain old mid. And so you can punish this mid with Rising K. You can also try to get the read and go around her. But this is a horizontal, so going around her won't work. So it's a relatively true mix-up. Just showing that even if she does Wind Fury, kicking is the punish if you happen to block this. But both of them lose to just 5BB. in order to stop people who like to mash when she jumps, she has that, but if your reflexes are good, you'll still win a lot of the time. You can also do this if you want to totally not commit. And that will beat this too. And it will also beat this. Oops. Unless you're slow. What do you call it? The follow-up only working after this. So, you're saying maybe if she has an option specifically to beat 5BB, why would you consider that the best answer? Well, because you want her to pick this option. Because if you block this, I know I'm bad, but there it is. You get your lethal hit punish. So, if she starts using this kind of thing, it's actually a positive scenario for you. She has a mid version that's not a mix-up, it's for if she gets behind you, like that. If she just whips this in your face, go ahead and go for that. And obviously, the 5BB will beat that out as well. So here's the move I was talking about though. She's got Rolling Storm, and this is a much scarier, much better answer to people who try to 5B her out of Windsult. Again though, you want her to be relying on this stop mashing on me because it is Rising B punishable. So if she's using the don't mash on me buttons, she's risking a lethal AGA punish or a Rising B punish. And she's also at that point committed to not going for these low into stance mix-ups, which definitely works to your advantage. Oh, I guess I completely forgot to show this. So if you're feeling like making a hard read, you can go for base hold and you do get the lethal. Base hold also causing this to miss. Oops. And this to whiff because she's facing the wrong way. So a pretty decent option, although it does lose to obviously the mid and loses rather decisively to Rolling Storm. So Talim's last stance is Wind Fury. It's the one that goes into this weird little crouching animation. If she flips away, I'd advise, BGB or something. It has a ton of reach, and you might manage to beat whatever she throws out afterwards. She's got a very slow low out of this. You're going to want to either jump that or... computer's acting up. Or the better option. Go for the base hold parry. You have to do it pretty early to get the lethal. If you react late, you'll just get that. She can cancel into the stance again out of that though. So be ready to punish the, whatever you want to call it, double stance if you don't see an attack come out. If you're late, you risk being punished, so be careful. Then there's this move, the favorite of netplay Talims everywhere. One of the few times I've gotten a rage quit here in Asia was teaching a Talim that this was how you punished it. Not much else to say about that. If you block it, you get a lethal. Largely because it does a absolutely obscene amount of damage on hit. It also lethal hits following a guard break, so be careful getting reversal edge B guard broken. This is safe and forces crouch, but it's like -8, so you can go for that, and then you know, frame cut with kick or do your low or whatever. It is completely steppable though, so as an alternative option, if you want to risk getting hit by the horizontal low, you can sidestep both the hurricane and the kick option out of this stance. She also has an unblockable, which is not bad. Something you have to sidestep anyway. So moving to the side and getting that chief hold spin covers 3 of the 4 options out of the stance. Really not bad. She can also go into the other stances from Wind Fury. So just, you can't really punish that, but you can react as appropriate. Whatever, right? She can even go Wind Fury as you saw there. So that wraps up Talim special moves. I guess this is better to cover it here than in the gauge section, so I'll just mention it. She can throw you while her back is toward you. It's the same as a regular throw situation. You have to guess forward tech or back tech. If she goes for Monsoon Season, the game is being dumb. But yeah, you can grapple break the second hit, so make sure if you get that weird little takedown grapple, you're ready to save yourself a little bit of the damage. Wrapping up Talim's moveset, we have her gauge attacks, and hear me out. Plus on block mid super. What a great and fair character. Definitely not that strong, don't worry about her. Yeah, you actually just have to hold that. She also has stance transitions after, which is the point of having it be super plus. She just basically has a mix-up button. I spend a gauge and I get to do mix-up. Because Talim. Why not? The one thing you can do to kind of mitigate that is you can parry the third hit. And that leaves you at like, I don't know, plus a little bit. You still can't even get a kick damage-wise, but at least you can go for pressure. You might screw yourself over there. So, at the very least, if she goes for a fast attack, though, you'll end up still parrying it. But imagine if she'd gone for that hurricane explosion thing, how hard you would get wrecked for trying to mash out a parry. Just Talim things. She also she can do the super while facing backwards, and it will not only correct toward you, but it comes out faster to adjust for that. Then she has her soul charge moves. So Rapid Gale Barrage is something else. It looks pretty similar maybe to her regular AAB string, but then you can't sidestep the third hit. It will always hit you. There's literally no way to not get stuck in pressure here. You also can't parry the third hit. Doesn't work. So just gotta hold it, like, straight up. Obviously if you duck the first 2 hits, but you can't react to a 12 frame 5A, so don't lie. She also can stance transition afterwards. So if she catches you mashing, you might get wrecked. And then she has whatever this is. This is just a matter of knowing the string. You get your rising B punish. So yeah, just know that it's 3 hits, because if you try to punish early, you'll get hit by the 3rd low. So this is the 6-6A mix-up thing from before. I don't know if mix-up is the right term for it, but yeah, that's what happens if you try to impact or what have you. Oh, dang it, she fell out of soul charge because I fell out of the ring. Hold on. So you can parry this, but you have to recognize what's happening. And if the mid hits you, they're all gonna hit you now. You can't sidestep, you have to either impact, or if you remember my earlier advice, if you see her running towards you, just duck. Although she can get you with that, right? But notice, it's a special mid. So even ducking, you'll still block. If you do sidestep this move, by the way, you gotta chase her down, because that's gonna not work. So if you try to just react with running though, I would say block this, but it's really up to you. Wind Charmer is basically the same mix-up before, except more dangerous because both the mid and the low do a lot more damage than they did, but you can still parry that 3rd hit either way. If you crouch, you get hit by this whole thing, and then for the low option, similarly, if you stand, you get hit by this whole thing. But the low is still level 3 impact. Light Breeze, so this is when Salt B, it got buffed a lot. Well, gets buffed, I don't know what the proper Talim Chill. That broke her. So it's an impact now, so it's hella plus. Oh, computer was acting up again. So because the only buff to Wind Salt is this move, you can try to do that hard read there. You can also just do what I initially suggested, and when you see her fly up in the air, go for 5 BP. If you do block it though, you gotta hold that. She also has a version where she holds B, and that goes into a stance afterwards. Obviously if you go around it or you bop her out of the air, it doesn't matter. But if not, then she has a lot of time for that stance transition. So that wraps up Talim. As always, thanks if you actually stuck around and watched an insanely long video from me. Alright, one thing I completely forgot about. Let's say you play Milia Blocker in your spare time and you believe you can react to the mid-low mix-up in Soul Charge. If you block the low, it's actually -16 at the end of the string here, so you can get your full lethal hit instant AGA punish. So don't just go for that.